Respawn and Replay.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Respawn and Replay. Now, this is one of my retro reviews of in the series of Do I Wish I Played This, and it's for Super Castlevania IV on the Super Nintendo. This was a platformer game released in 1991 by Konami for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It actually was released in Europe, or Australia and that, November 23rd, 1992. It's just crazy it was a year later. It's always the same story we dealt with in Australia. Always last to receive games back in the 90s and early 2000s. It was just a nightmare. I've mentioned that before. Should do a video about it, honestly. Super Castlevania IV features expanded player control with the whip going in a 360 movement, more items to use throughout the game, 16-bit graphics featuring Super Nintendo's awesome Mode 7, and a soundtrack featuring new pieces and arrangements based on previous Castlevania music, which I mentioned later in the review. Following the same setting as Castlevania on the NES, the game takes place in 1691 Transylvania, where the vampire hunter Simon Belmont must defeat the vampire Dracula. The game received critical acclaim and is considered one of the greatest video games ever made. Onto the graphics. This game pushes the SNES to its limits. Mode 7 is everywhere you look. Mobs look great and have heaps of variety. The stages all look unique with overlapping backgrounds with different visual effects, vines growing on fences, water flowing covering the perspective as you walk past it or behind it, sand that kicks up dust as you land on it. Each stage screams handcrafted magic. This game truly took Castlevania to the next level. From playing the original Part 1 on the NES back in the day, this jump in graphics is stunning. Bosses were different looking, with sick animations that give them a specific look, even to the area that they're located in. The map looks cool and it's detailed, gives a sense of adventure straight from the get-go. Each hit on a mob looks great, gives good sound effects, and super satisfying. Alright, onto the sound. Any game that gives you the option to play all the background music in the options menu is a 10 out of 10. I could just stop here. Like, I love that feature in these old school games. You could just go in there, listen to it. Some of the music is just bang on awesome. Like, I love that. And I sat there for a bit listening to it. And I was like, okay, I've actually better start playing the game. For an old school game, I love that at the beginning of the game, there's no sound. It's just atmospheric ambient music with the backdrop that you're walking into the Castlevania courtyard on this journey. Whereas it was like artistic for something back in the day where they never really did that. As soon as you turn on Mario, it's boom, da 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 da, or most of those games have got that intro, the bang of music. But this was like, no, it was creepy. You've got to go in there and you're crossing the bridge, and then as soon as you get in, bang, there's the score, that awesome music, that Castlevania music that you know and love. So good. And then onto the stages, like each one was as good as the last. Then you would get to the final area and it kicks in the original Castlevania music from the NES. Like, how perfect is that? You're walking up to go fight Dracula and you've got this awesome music going. So good. Such an awesome Easter egg. Like, so early in games. It was just amazing. The sound of each weapon, as you hit the mobs, they were all satisfying. The bosses with their unique sounds and music as well. You could even tell by the sound of your whip that you weren't at full power if you didn't collect all the power-ups. That's just awesome. I loved it. So good. Alright, on to the gameplay. Great and great. Each crack of the whip, like I mentioned earlier, each swing or throw of the axe, so detailed, so impactful. You traverse through the courtyards, castles, dungeons, caves, you name it. This game takes you everywhere on your way to face Dracula at the end. Some stages have a different mechanic, waterfalls or gaping holes where you could fall to your death, difficult platforming with twisting tunnels to boot, different mobs to take on like zombies, bats, dragon heads, Medusa's heads, flying horse heads. Man, that was creepy. Like someone went to the stable and cut off all the horses' heads, and I don't think they were very happy about it. But it just made me think of Godfather movies, like honestly. What else is there? Skeletons and frogs. I mean, it's a frog. Not a super giant frog. Just a normal frog. Not a battle toad. Just a frog on a mission to kill me. I was hunted and killed by this frog. Like, why was this frog so mad? What was its beef with me? Why did it have to attack and kill me? It was so tiny and yet the most deadly mob I had faced on that stage. Possibly the hardest in the game. Nah, that little shit just caught me off guard for sure. Or did it? I mean, it was stalking me, waiting for me to drop. Then bam! Hop to death. This frog was my first death in the game. It really felt like a personal attack. A stupid frog can get stuffed. So, onto the verdict. Do I wish I played this? Well, let me put it to you in Castlevania terms. Is Symphony of the Night the best 2D Castlevania game? Arguably, it is. So yes. Therefore my answer is yes. I honestly grew up playing the GBA versions of Castlevania. I did play the NES original at my cousin's place, but I never owned it. So the GBA ones were my bread and butter. And damn were they freaking good. I'll probably play them again soon, because they were just great games. This game though is awesome. It isn't a Metroidvania style like the GBA ones, just a stage-by-stage playthrough, which was fine for back in the day. But as Castlevania games have evolved into these classics we all know and love as Metroidvania types, this sits in an era that was perfectly suitable at the time. A nice challenge with a great story, great gameplay, and awesome graphics to go along with it. A super delight to receive this type of upgrade from the NES to the SNES. Same as how Mario evolved from Super Mario Bros. On the NES onto Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. Just an incredible upgrade that works and fits perfectly for today. Alright guys, this comes to the end of the video. So if you're enjoying this content, please like and subscribe. And remember, when gaming, you can always respawn and replay. Catch you next time.